So my exhibition revolves around the coca plant, which is a plant that is originally from South America, from the Cordillera de los Andes. And it's a plant that has a very polemic and complicated history because it's the prime material for cocaine. But in the course of my research, which has been unfolding in the past 10 plus years, I have been very interested about the uses of the plant that are originally embedded in the South American landscape through the communities that have been using the plant since before the arrival of the colonizers.
Was Laura in ihren Arbeiten macht, ist, dass sie dem Widerstand gegen die koloniale Vereinnahmung der Pflanze sehr viel Raum gibt. Sei das jetzt in der Arbeit Curanderxs oder sei es in ihrer Kollaboration mit den lokalen Communities vor Ort. Und darin ist es für sie eine fortwährende Auseinandersetzung, auch ein fortwährendes Lernen, was sie in ihrer künstlerischen Praxis weiterträgt. In diesem Sinne würde ich ihren Ansatz nicht per se als aktivistisch beschreiben, aber sie arbeitet mit Aktivisten zusammen. In der Ausstellung sehen wir 3 Videoarbeiten, die die Spannweite von Lauras Auseinandersetzung mit der Cocapflanze abbilden und die auch jeweils in verschiedenen Zeiten angesiedelt sind.
And you enter into the first room and it's a green room, lightened in a greenish kind of bright way. And in that particular room, you see a film called The Labyrinth, which evokes the arrival of cocaine to the Colombian Amazon through the voice of a man who was a former drug worker and who is telling the story of this violent arrival while he meanders and wanders through the ruins of a villa that was inspired by the villa of the American soap opera dynasty. And then you enter to the second room, which is even more immersive, totally into the dark, that goes back to the initial criminalization of the coca plant. I did a 2-channel installation, which takes the form of an experimental fiction, imagining the story of a group of women who were criminalized by Inquisition and Spanish colonizers. And this group of women were distributing the plant in a clandestine way for workers in the mines or just, the Métis and indigenous people who were still using the plant. In the third room, we find back Cristóbal Gómez Abel, who is the character of the labyrinth, which we see in the first room. And the film that we see is called Para la Coca. It was filmed in the Colombian Amazon, and it is centered on the production of the mambe, which is a green powder made out of the coca plant and other leaves, which has a very interesting and powerful ancestral use because it is used within a ritual, a political ritual by the men of the community, where political topics are addressed, and the coca powder is used to better communicate and sweeten the discourse, as they say. So closing all that journey through the different histories of the coca plant was very important to show that immense gap that there is between cocaine and what it became, and this history of these ancestral uses and knowledges around the plant.
Der Raum ist in ein grünes Licht getaucht und wird durch einen grünen Vorhang betreten. Dieses Grün ist eine Referenz auf das sogenannte Scheelegrün. Das ist ein Pigment aus dem 19. Jahrhundert, das mit Arsen versehen war. Das heißt im wahrsten Sinne ein toxisches Pigment. Wo wir im ersten Raum noch das giftige Grün haben, haben wir im dritten Raum dann das Grün der Cocapflanze, was auch ein natürlich vorkommendes Grün ist. Und dazu kommt natürlich auch, dass Grün in sich eine Farbe ist, die häufig mit Natur assoziiert wird, aber in dieser Nebeneinanderstellung des künstlichen Pigments und des Grüns der Pflanze wir natürlich ganz schnell sehen, dass Natur in diesem Falle auch ein Konstrukt ist.
In my work, I'm trying to contaminate or try to make these two spaces, the cinema and the art space, dialogue, and push a little bit that sensation and that dialogue further. So the chairs, I'm using the monoblock chairs, which is a very democratic chair that you can see everywhere. Very easy to find in Berlin, very easy to find in Leticia, Amazonas, in Colombia, in Bogota, almost everywhere in the world. I mean, I am not a huge believer of universalism, but the monoblock chair is like something that you can see almost everywhere in the world. And I think that works everywhere. So here at CO, if I want to improvise a cinema, this was the logical way to do it.
Der After Nature Prize ist ein neues Format, das wir bei CO Berlin in Zusammenarbeit mit der Crespo Foundation entwickelt haben. Und das ist tatsächlich einer der größten Fotografiepreise in Europa. Wir haben einen thematischen Fokus und ermöglichen es jedes Jahr 2 internationalen KünstlerInnen neue Projekte im erweiterten Themenfeld von Natur, Ökologie, Fotografie und visuellen Medien zu ermöglichen. Und mit diesem Preis geht eben nicht nur ein Preisgeld einher, sondern auch eine Ausstellung und eine begleitende Publikation.
It is definitely, I mean, ecology is definitely a topic that I care about deeply. And that is also why I'm making films around the plant, or how do we questioning the relationship with nature, for sure. So there's the topics that I want to address, also the survival of indigenous communities, that I guess it's very important today when we think about climate crisis and the Anthropocene. But the other way that I'm trying also to approach through my work is how the production can also be transformed by thinking about ecology. So there are like these two different things that intertwine, the things that I approach thematically, but also how I do the work.